Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathavitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sharipam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Nitamscha Namo Krishna Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayoja Patitanam Vaishnavebhyo Namo 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 Mahadham Krishna Premavadaya Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradishe He Krishna Kala Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesho Gopika Kanto Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vinasaya Vasaya Nittaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Saffron color. यहाँ पर है आदत चाहिए नहीं सेम प्रॉब्लम है देखो किसी पास पे हाथ खराब हो तो गया Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 text 14 please repeat Matra Sparshastu Konteya Matra Sparshastu Konteya Krishna Sukha Dukkhada Shitoshna Sukha Dukkhada Agamapaina Nitya Agamapaina Nitya Translation O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and the disappearance and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer season. They arise from sense perception, ocean of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Purport. In the proper discharge of duty, one has to learn to tolerate non-permanent appearance and disappearance of happiness and distress. According to the Vedic injunction, one has to take his bath early in the morning, even during the month of Magh, January, February. It is very cold at that time. But in spite of that, man who abide by the religious principles does not hesitate to take his bath. Similarly, a woman does not hesitate to cook in the kitchen in the month of May or June, the hottest part of the summer season. One has to execute his duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. One has to execute his duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. Similarly, to fight in the religious principles of the Kshatriya, although one has to fight with some of friends or relatives, one should not deviate from his prescribed duty. One has to follow the prescribed rules and regulations for religious principles in order to rise up to the platform of knowledge. Because by knowledge and devotion, one only one only can one liberate himself from the clutches of Maya illusion. The two different name and dress given to Arjuna are also significant. To address him as Kuntiya signifies his great blood relation from his mother's side, and to address him as Bharata signifies his greatness from his father's side. From both the side, from both sides, he is supposed to have a great heritage. The great heritage brings responsibility in the matter of proper discharge of duty. The great heritage brings responsibility in the matter of proper discharge of duties. Therefore, he cannot avoid fighting. A very important verse. Mukam karti vacharam pungumlam bhayate grim jat kripa tamam varne shri guru parvarutamar. So this verse is very, very important for our spiritual practice. Or even in any duties uh, which we perform in our life, especially the prescribed duties. So when we perform our prescribed duties or our spiritual duties, so there will be always some disturbance. So like unfavorable situation like happiness or distress, uh, honor, dishonor, pain or pleasure, uh, victory or defeat. So all these things create uh, disturbance uh, or uh, or check our determination in in connection with our discharge of our duties. If somebody wants to discharge his duties, somebody wants to practice spiritual life, one has to raise above these these dualities. One has to tolerate. One has to learn to tolerate this uh, these dualities. So so Krishna is very clearly saying here, in proper discharge of duties, one has to learn to tolerate the non-permanent appearance and disappearance of happiness and distress. So this happiness and distress, first of all, it is non-permanent. মাত্রা স্পর্শাস্তু করতেও শীতোষ্ণ সুখ দুঃখদা आगामा अपाइनो. आगामा मीन्स आता है और पाइनो मीन्स चला जाता है. Appearance and disappearance. It comes and goes. Agama, apaino and anitya. Temporary. Just like a changes of season. Like now is a winter season. And as time will move, like time is like a wheel. Time is changing, season is changing. So winter season will go, summer season will come. So it is temporary. And so in order to execute duties, one has to learn to tolerate this non-permanent disturbance, non-permanent, favorable, unfavorable, non-permanent, क्या कहते हैं इसको, dualities of happiness and distress. In order to be situated in knowledge, in order to be liberated from the bodily platform and be situated in the spiritual platform, one has to tolerate and execute his duties. So this happiness and distress, this honor, dishonor, success, failure, this born in bodily platform. So and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer season. They arise from the sense perception. They arise from sense perception. राहुल को बुलाओ. So they arise from sense perception. So this non-permanent appearance and disappearance of happiness and distress, these dualities, they honor, dishonor, they appear in sense perception, in bodily platform. Matra Sparshastu Gotya. So this is not actually real. This is not real. It appears in the bodily platform. So as body is not our real identity, so it is born in ignorance. When we identify ourselves separate from Krishna, and we want to enjoy separately from Krishna in the material world, then we receive material body. Just like a prisoner is given a separate identity, separate clothes to identify himself as a prisoner. Similarly, the conditioned soul who want to enjoy separately from Krishna, he has given a material body. Understood? So thus the material body born out of ignorance. Understood? Material body is actually ignorance. When we identify ourselves body or mind, it is actually ignorance. Our original identity is, we are not this body. That Krishna already spoke. This 14th verse, 13th and 11th, 12th verse. Krishna is saying to Arjuna, Nate baham jatu nasam nattam neve janadipa nachai vana bhavishyama sarve vayam atoparam. Oh Arjuna, you, me and all these kings, we were there before. And we will be also exist in future. Natam nene janadipa nachai vana bhavishyama. भविष्य में हम लोग रहेंगे. So in this way, वो बाथरूम में ही चला जाएगा तुम्हारा. So in this way, we are eternal spirit soul. Then Krishna is saying, Dehinasmin yatha dehe, komaram jobanam jara tatha dehantara prapti, dhiras tatanam jati. The body changes from childhood to youth to old age. And then at the time of death, it changes the body. So body changes, but soul is permanent. Soul is unchangeable. Body changes. The season changes. The duality changes. And body act according to the situation, the changes of the material body. Gross and subtle. So therefore, this changes is non-permanent first of all, and it is born out of ignorance, not real. And therefore, one should not be disturbed by that. One should learn to tolerate or fight against that. Understand? So how it is false, or born out of ignorance means false. How it is false? Now it is a winter season, and we like the fire, correct? Same fire in the summer season, it is happening. This fire winter season give pleasure. Same fire,
summer season.
similarly in the winter season, you like AC.
Summer
The
season.
same summer season, you like AC, but same AC will be frustration, cause of a frustration in the सुबह फैन चला दिया अच्युतानंद को क्यों फैन चला और गर्मी के समय फैन नहीं चलाता है फैन क्यों नहीं चल रहा है
Company we have to switch off the fan to wake the boys up.
Understood? Same thing appearing different. समझ में आ रहा है? So this is happening due to this material body, skin. मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु करते हो. स्पर्श किसके साथ होता है? स्किन के साथ. तो भगवान ने ऐसे स्किन से फिटिंग कर दिया है कि आप उसके साथ, इसलिए बोला है कंडीशन सोल. You are conditioned by the changes, climatic changes. Now if you are to be liberated, that's what it is written here. One has to follow the prescribed rules and regulation of religious principles in order to rise above the platform of knowledge. Because by knowledge and devotion only, the knowledge and devotion only, can one liberate himself from the clutches of Maya. One has to follow the prescribed rules and regulation of religious principles in order to raise above the platform of knowledge. If you don't execute your religious duties, then you cannot raise above the platform of, you cannot raise up to the platform of knowledge. You will remain conditioned. You will remain in ignorance. Because of knowledge and devotion only one can liberate. So to be in knowledge, one has to tolerate. To be in knowledge, one has to fight with these dualities. And then when you in knowledge means what? You realize yourself. The second chapter is second chapter. Krishna is Arjuna has expressed his ignorance, his false identification, and thus he was not ready to fight. He was not ready to the ninth verse. Arjuna is saying, I cannot fight. I cannot come for Mangalarti. I cannot practice Krishna consciousness. We also say like this. Eva mukta rishikesha gurakisha param tapa na jyotsna iti govinda uktva tushnim bahu bhuha. Sanjay said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemy, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. So, Arjuna was not ready to fight. But one has to fight fight with these dualities. Till the time you are in the material world, in the material platform, these dualities will be there. But to liberate yourself, you have to fight. Understand? To advance in spiritual life, you have to fight and tolerate. Fight and tolerate. Fight and tolerate. That desperateness to fight is required. To desperateness to receive that training, that is Gurukul life. Guru give training to raise above from bodily platform and be situated in the spiritual platform. That is the purpose of this college and universities. They are not doing that. They are pouring more ignorance. समझ में आ रहा है? They are pouring more and more ignorance on you, and you become slave. But Krishna is saying, Arjuna, param tapa, chastiser of enemy. Evam ukta rishikesha gurakesha param tapa. Arjuna actually gurakesh. What is gurakesh?
Control over the sleep.
Huh?
Control over sleep.
Yes, sleep. What sleep signifies? It signifies
Ignorance.
Ignorance. So, so Sanjay, when Sanjay spoke like that, Dhritarashtra became very happy. Oh, Arjuna is not going to fight. Jit gaya Jud. But Prabhupada is writing in the purport that Dhritarashtra was very happy that Arjuna is not going to fight. But saying this, Sanjay, क्या कहते इसको? So Dhritarashtra was very happy, and saying this, Sanjay, he threw water on that, on his happiness, because Sanjay addressed Krishna as Rishikesh and Arjuna is Gurakesh. So you have to say that very soon Krishna is going to remove Arjuna's ignorance. Very soon. So don't be happy. Very soon Arjuna is going to remove, chastise enemy. So enemy is not outside, enemy is inside. So the leader or the person who wants to be leader, he has to learn to conquer the enemy, not just outside enemy, but inside enemy. Many times we make the devotees our enemy. क्यों उठा रहे हो सुबह सुबह? आराम से सो रहा था मैं. And we gradually start writing, this is my enemy. My roommate is my enemy. Uh, or this devotee is my enemy. But actually, my anarthas are my enemy. The anarthas, my false ego is my enemy. My false ego, my anarthas are keeping me, uh,
In
keeping me in this material world for a prolonged period of time and make me suffer more. Sometimes consider my guru is enemy. Huh? समझ रहे? गुरु फांसी को टच कर दिया मेरा, हाँ, सबके सामने मेरे को डांटा, हाँ, गुरु को समझ में नहीं आता है क्या? प्यार से बोलना चाहिए था, फिर मैं कर लेता।
Bhakti Damodar gave example that class. Bhakti Damodar was scolding from his Guru Maharaj without doing any mistake.
Then
Then his Guru Maharaj told that you go out and whole day you stay outside, no food for you. Just go and do seva. Then he said I didn't think that my Guru Maharaj would understand me. I just did that, and because of that I am in ISKCON today. Till now you are saying.
so our anarthas, our false ego, want to keep us in the material world, to make us more and more suffer. So one has to be ready to fight with his enemy. One has to be ready to raise above his enemy. Fight with that. That is Bhagavad Gita. Not just external enemy, but the internal enemy which is there in our heart. One has to be very sincere to identify that and to practice Krishna consciousness seriously to raise above this enemy or anarthas or ignorance. That is a qualification of a that is a qualification of a good disciple. That is a qualification of a good spiritual. That is a qualification of a good sadhaka. Sadhaka does not mean that he don't have any anarthas. Disciple does not mean, good disciple does not mean that he do not have any anarthas. He has anarthas. But he is desperate to fight. Desperate to give it up. And take shelter of Krishna. So having anartha is not a disqualification. Having anartha is not a disqualification to become a disciple. Or to become a sadhaka. But one has to be very serious to practice Krishna consciousness. No, wait for and therefore, one has to be very sincere or determined to execute his duties, spiritual duties. There will be difficulties. There will be this non-permanent dualities. But one has to understand this is born out of ignorance. It will keep me bound in this material world. Understand? It will keep me bound in the material world. It is not real, it is false actually. It is born out of ignorance, false. I am conditioned by that due to my association with the material nature for many, many lifetimes. I became conditioned, I became accustomed to that. I am not able to identify my original self. I am not able to see Krishna. Understand? This is not real. We have to understand why we become desperate. Because it's false. Why I need to be desperate? Because of that I am bound in this material world. It is cause of my bondage. That's what we have to fight. So to be fight, we have to fight, we have to be very spiritually intelligent. We have to be spiritually intelligent. It's not like that those who are fighting, they are not facing that trouble. Everybody has to face. Everybody, whoever have material, pure devotee also have material body. Guru Maharaj have so many physical problems. It's not like that he have no feeling. He have also feeling. But he is desperate to please Krishna, desperate to serve Srila Prabhupada. And when Sir is desperate to serve and practice Krishna consciousness, advance in Krishna consciousness, he overcomes all these dualities. He does not get affected by those qualities and experience transcendental pleasure. Experience transcendental pleasure. Like when in Habibpur, anybody feels like the winter and summer and all this problem and cold and because we are in another frequency. The desperateness will bring you that frequency where we don't care. Understand? When we don't care all these things. Arjuna's thing is so too much. Then Krishna chastises Arjuna. Arjuna understood his mistake and surrendered to Krishna. So the example, very nice example has been given, powerful example, powerful purport has been given of a spiritual practitioner. According to the Vedic injunction, one has to take his bath early in the morning, even during the month of March, January and February. It is very cold at that time, but in spite of that, a man who abides by the religious principles does not hesitate to take bath. Similarly, woman does not hesitate to cook. अभी अगर हमारे सुशील को कुक नहीं करेंगे क्या होगा? समझ में आ रहा है? So the point is that one has to execute his duties even in spite of climatic inconveniences. If you want to go back to Godhead. Because this is, first of all, it is temporary, just like changes of season. Similarly, at the same time, it is false. It is born out of ignorance. So what is Nishtha? What is Nishtha stage? You are not disturbed by that. Your spiritual practice is going up and down because of this matra sparshastu bandhishtasnastu dukkada. It's not allowing you to go, is not allowing you to practice bhajana kriya and give up or raise above anartha. Not allowing you to go cross the anartha nivritti stage and be situated in nishtha. Understand? So therefore one has to fight with that. To fight, one has to learn tolerate. To fight with all these things, one has to tolerate. Because one has to, this will be there. जैसे एग्जाम आता है, पढ़ाई करना पड़ता है, करते कि नहीं टॉलरेट? तो भगवान को प्राप्त करने के लिए, जन्म मृत्यु के चक्र से ऊपर जाने के लिए इसको टॉलरेट करना पड़ेगा. That is a liberated soul who can tolerate. Srila Prabhupada has to go through so much difficulties. He was happy in Vrindavan Dham. At the very advanced age, he has to cross the ocean, go in somewhere where nobody knows him. He don't know how to maintain himself. He has to tolerate 2-time heart attack. He voluntarily accepted all the difficulties just to give Krishna consciousness to others, just to please Krishna. And you see how Krishna had helped Srila Prabhupada. हमने देखा प्रभुपाद जी किसी जगह में लिखा है लीलामृत में, प्रभुपाद जी का अभी दुखी होकर बैठ गया, मैंने गलत डिसीजन ले लिया, इधर आकर इतना कष्ट हुआ मेरे शिष्य लोगों ने इतना दुख दिया. प्रभुपाद जी के शिष्य लोग क्या प्रभुपाद जी को दुख नहीं दिया था? बहुत दुख दिया था. हाँ, ऐसे नहीं कि सब शिष्य लोग महाराज लोग के जैसा है. बहुत दुख मिला उनको, लेकिन क्या प्रभुपाद जी को ऐसा बोलते हुए या लिखते हुए देखा? आज मेरे डिसाइपल ने ये किया मेरे साथ. No. Because he's not affected by that. He's fixed in his service. So in the similar way, we have to be very, very happy to practice Krishna consciousness. We have to be very convinced that this is the best life. My life is already successful because I became devotee of Krishna. I don't need any other thing. Just I have to continue my Krishna consciousness happily. I'm so fortunate. I have been given this opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness. This wonderful life. I was in ignorance. What kind of life I was leading? Animal life. Now whatever is there, I'll fight. Whatever little bit small problems are there, the problem is inside. And when you understand that problem is not outside, problem is inside only, then you don't feel problem. Because the fight is not anyone else. Fight is not with anybody else. Fight is with my own anarthas only. समझ में आ रहा है? Then we genuinely try. And when we genuinely try, huh, then Krishna sees your endeavor. Then Krishna will remove all the anarthas. Krishna send you help through devotees. Then your progress is much more faster. So therefore, uh, having desire to advance in Krishna consciousness is not sufficient. Making resolution in New Year is not sufficient. One has to execute the order given by Guru and given by Krishna. They are called disciple. There is a difference between follower and disciple. Follower will give you one like. YouTube में like दे दिया, subscriber बन गया. But they are not disciple. हाँ. समझ में आ रहा है? बहुत अच्छा था क्लास.
They follow what they want.
Yes. The disciple is he who follow or try to follow the instruction of spiritual master and instruction of Krishna. So therefore, when we are executing our duties, unavoidable duties, like yesterday we went to Sanjay Nityananda's program. His father passed away. He has to execute his duties. Yesterday, that voice Cook Prabhu's uncle passed away. He has to do his duties. So this will be there. This is the characteristic of this material world. This is the characteristic of material body. Similarly, there will be happiness and distress, honor, dishonor. It's born out of ignorance. Dualities of this material world. What one has to fix in his spiritual duties to raise above this material world, raise above this suffering, and going back to body. तो इसलिए एक दूसरे भक्तों को सहायता करना चाहिए. एक दूसरे के भक्तों लोग, Srila Prabhupada has established ISKCON so that we can happily, enthusiastically execute our duties, spiritual duties. We have to give our best to perform our spiritual duties, especially morning program, 4 regulative principles. The senses will demand so many things. Sense gratification. Senses will demand tongue, belly, genitals. They will demand, but one has to tolerate. That's Krishna is saying here. Tam titiksha bharata. That so-called happiness and distress born out of ignorance. That is the beginning of spiritual life. You have to tolerate that. Vacha vegam, manasakrodha vegam, jiva vegam, udarupastha vegam. One has to tolerate that to raise above the ignorance. Ignorance is I am body. and I have to enjoy the body. I have to enjoy the senses. That is ignorance. But to raise above and be situated in knowledge. What is knowledge? I am not this body. I am servant of Krishna. That desperateness is required. And to practice that desperateness, one has to learn to tolerate the urges. Saying no to senses and yes to Krishna. And when your morning program is very good, you are very happy to follow that. Tolerance is very easy. When the morning program is weak, then you will be always, oh, nahi hoga mere se. समझ रहे हैं? When your relationship with Guru is weak, when you are not able to digest the chastisement of Guru, when you are not able to reveal your heart to Guru, that means your relationship with your Guru or devotees are weak. Then Maya will overpower you. Your mind will overpower you. And these dualities will overpower you. Arjuna was saying all this no to Krishna. But Arjuna had one good quality. What? He have revealed everything to Krishna. समझ में आ रहा है? So it's very important that we have good relationship with our seniors, good relationship with our counselor, good relationship with our guru. They will help you. They will remove your ignorance, your weaknesses. हाँ? ठीक से बैठो. मैं पूजा से
Teaching report.
एक मिनट just. Person who do not reveal his heart to Guru, he will reveal heart to Mataji. समझ में आ रहा है? Person who will not reveal his heart to Guru, the consequence is because he is not able to open his heart to his Guru. Guru is Krishna's representative. Then he needs some emotion share करना पड़ेगा ना, पत्नी से करेगा, गर्लफ्रेंड से करेगा, समझ? जो गुरु और अथॉरिटी का बात नहीं माने का बात पाएगा, उसको शादी करना ही पड़ेगा. समझ रहे? ऐसा जरूरी नहीं कि आपको शादी करना ही पड़ेगा. हम लोग बोलते हैं आप लोगों को कि भक्ति जीवन में भी शादी कर सकते हैं. तो बोलते हैं क्योंकि नहीं बोलेंगे तो आप तो इतना डर जाएंगे कि अरे बाप रे बाप साधु बना देगा, अभी भाग जाता हूँ मैं इधर से. But the problem is, there is a problem in marriage life. There is a miseries in marriage life. नहीं तो क्यों गृहस्थ आश्रम का 12% लेने के लिए बोला जा रहा है? अरे क्या प्रॉब्लम है? क्यों बोला जा रहा है? अरे प्रॉब्लम है बोल के बोला जा रहा है. केवल भक्ति सिंसियरली करोगे तो मैरिड लाइफ में भी हैप्पी रह सकते हो. केवल भक्ति सीरियसली करोगे तो मैरिड लाइफ में भी कोई हैप्पी रह सकता है. अदरवाइज मैरिड लाइफ में और दुख है. समझ में आ रहा है? जाके पूछो सब गृहस्थों को पूछो सुखी है कि नहीं. So I am not saying that you be brahmachari only.
Follow the instruction of Spirit.
एक जन को देखना चाहिए कि कौन सा आश्रम उनके लिए अनुकूल है भक्ति के लिए. क्योंकि भक्ति करोगे तो सुखी रहोगे. भक्ति करोगे तो सुखी रहोगे. So whatever is favorable for your spiritual practice to going back to Godhead, that you should decide. But the point is, why I spoke this point here, because if a relationship with spiritual master is, or Vaishnavas or counselors, senior devotees, or a mentor is weak, Krishna was like Arjuna's mentor, spiritual master, his guide, his friend, weak, then you will not reveal your heart, and the problem will overpower you. So don't be fearful. One has to practice this Guhyamākhati Picchati. हमें उसको करने के लिए सीखना पड़ेगा. Not difficult. The devotees are coming and giving their time here. You can also approach. So when you share your heart, open your heart, like Arjuna opened his heart to Krishna, and Krishna solved his problem. So one problem like mind creates. Mind, in mind, actually 3 modes attack mind. It's very important for all of us. Our main struggle उधर ही है. मेन स्ट्रगल उधर ही है. जितना भक्तों के साथ हम लोग हमारे हृदय को शेयर करेंगे, जितना शास्त्रों का अध्ययन करेंगे, जितना मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम अच्छे से करेंगे, उतना ही आप प्रॉब्लम फेस नहीं करेंगे. There is a duality in the material world. Material world is dark place. That is natural for all of us. Divya Prabhu may be thinking that I am giving this class for him, but this is for every one of us. Very important. जितना आप गुरु के आदेशों को पालन करोगे, उतना ही आप डुअलिटी को फेस नहीं करना पड़ेगा. Other duality is there. When you follow, you don't face the duality. You know this there, but not getting affected. You can experience that. And you can experience freedom. You can experience that liberated life, that joyful life, that ecstatic life. You can become free from lust, anger, greed, thirst. क्या कहते हैं? Hunger, thirst and sleep. So more you experience that, more you experience your spiritual identity. More you become fearless. More you experience your spiritual identity, more you become fearless. That fearless to practice Krishna consciousness is required. That comes in Nishtha stage. The anarthas are going down and you are experiencing your spiritual position. Huh? And more you experience your eternal spiritual position, more you experience more you become fearless. Abhayam sattva samsuddhim. More you become purified, more you become abhayam. Sattva samsuddhim, the purification of our existence. More you become fearless. More your bhakti become non-stoppable, unstoppable. गुरु महाराज के बारे में बोलते ना, गुरु महाराज जय पता का स्वामी,
Unstoppable.
never give up. He don't speak big philosophy. We speak big philosophy, but Guru Maharaj speaks simple as Krishna Katha. But is situated in transcendental platform. That's why people are so much inspired by him. So much inspired by him. People are, when he moves, people follow him. So practice. When devotees are helping, you have some setup or some system or function. अलग अलग अथॉरिटी बनाए गए हैं, अलग अलग spiritual authority, service authority to help and cooperate with them for your advancement. They can experience your progress. Spiritual progress इतना आसान नहीं होता है, बहुत उसमें मेहनत करना पड़ता है. तो भक्त लोग हेल्प करते हैं, श्रील प्रभुपाद हेल्प कर रहे हैं, गुरु महाराज लोग हेल्प कर रहे हैं. नाउ हमें उसको उस हेल्प को रिसीव करना पड़ेगा, या उनके साथ क्या कहते हैं, हाँ, रेसिप्रोकेट करना पड़ेगा. है ना? तो इसलिए मैं रिक्वेस्ट है आप सभी लोगों को कि आप लोग 4 रेगुलेटिव प्रिंसिपल्स बहुत सीरियसली पालन करिए, स्ट्रिक्टली. टॉलरेट द अर्जेस, डोंट मिक्स विथ नॉन डिवोटीज, दे विल पोर इग्नोरेंस डाल के चला जाएगा. समझ रहे? डोंट अलाउ नॉन डिवोटीज और एनीवन स्पॉइल योर स्पिरिचुअल एंथुजियाज्म. अटेंड मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम. मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम देखिए, सेवा वेवा कम करेंगे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. सेवा स्पिरिचुअल प्लेटफॉर्म में होता है. मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम को पक्का रखिए. मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम को पक्का रखिए. मेरा तबीयत बहुत खराब था, फिर भी मैं वॉइस में आया. मंदिर में मैंने मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम मिस नहीं किया था. इधर आके मिस हो गया, 2 दिन लेट उठ गया. मैं प्रभु को पूछूं, मैं बोलता प्रभु मेरे को उठाया क्यों नहीं. So even some situations are there, but still one has to give his best. रात में सब मुंह नाक जाम हो जा रहा है, सांस नहीं ले पा रहा हूँ, गला एकदम ही हो जा रहा है. तो हमें ये सब रहेगा, क्या बड़ी बात है. तो मैं मर गया क्या? मृत्यु तो होगा ही, उससे भी डरना नहीं चाहिए, मृत्यु से भी डरना नहीं चाहिए. समझ रहे ना? अगर भक्ति करते करते मर जाएंगे तो क्या होगा? बहुत हम चले जाएंगे. है ना? भक्ति करते करते मर जाएंगे तो क्या होगा? हाँ? वही तो गोल है ना, भक्ति करते करते मृत्यु. अंत कालचे मामेव स्मरण मुक्त कलेवरम. दैट इज परफेक्शन एक्चुअली. लोग बहुत सेवा करते करके थक जाते हैं और कोई कोई डिस्टर्ब हो जाता है, आप लोग जी इतना सेवा किया, इतना बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया, एक्चुअली इट इज योर सक्सेस, यू आर नॉट एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई योर सक्सेस, दैट्स व्हाट यू आर, दैट डेस्परेटनेस इज नॉट कमिंग, दैट इज एक्चुअली योर सक्सेस। सेवा करते करते थक गया, आनंद होना चाहिए आज आज कि मैं कितना भाग्यशाली, सेवा करते करते थका मैं, काल भी मैं ऐसा करूंगा, काल भी मैं सुबह उठूंगा, काल भी मैं पूरा दिन यूटिलाइज करूंगा, दैट इज एक्चुअली सक्सेस। रेस्ट कम लिया फिर भी सुबह उठा, दैट इज एक्चुअली योर एडवांसमेंट, दैट इज एक्चुअली योर एडवांसमेंट। समझ में आ रहा है ना? बॉडी को थोड़ा कष्ट हो रहा है, दैट इज एक्चुअली एडवांसमेंट। बॉडी को सुख नहीं चाहिए, एक्चुअली वो आपकी एडवांसमेंट है कि भगवान की सेवा करते हैं बॉडी को कुछ, तुम्हार सेवाय दुख হয় যত সেই তো পরম সুখ, सेवा सुख दुख परम संपद, ना सहे अविद्या दुख। लेकिन जो अविद्या के कारण जो दुख हो रहा है, अज्ञान के कारण, इंद्रिय भोग के कारण जो मैं माया में गिर रहा हूं, वो दुख मैं सहन नहीं कर पाऊंगा। आपके सेवा में दुख होता है, आई एम हैप्पी टू टेक दैट दुख। वो भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर बोले वो मेरा संपद है, सेवा करते हुए कोई दुख मिल रहा है वो मेरा संपद है। कृष्ण के लिए आपने दुख किया, दैट इज एक्चुअली योर एडवांसमेंट।
हरे कृष्ण, वो माला वो दिन नहीं डाल गया,
कैसे जब किया इसने?
मोबाइल से करा था तो
माला मिस मत करो,
अब याद आ गया बोला
मोबाइल छूट जाए लेकिन माला छूटना नहीं चाहिए।
गलती है।
यस,
ऑफिस जा
ये स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड घुसने का आइडेंटिटी है, आइडेंटिफिकेशन। चेक क्या है, माला है आपके पास? ओह माला नहीं है, अच्छा अच्छा।
आईडी कार्ड टू स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड।
यस जी आईडी कार्ड।
हरे कृष्णा, थैंक यू। ओके, एनी क्वेश्चन या एनीथिंग? आप कुछ बोलना चाहते हैं आपसे? क्वेश्चन है किसी का? पहले ये बता दो।
I was saying that the registration things or nothing else. After this we can discuss.
और जाना क्या है?
हाँ,
Registration.
ये रजिस्ट्रेशन के रिपोर्ट कोई दे सकते हैं? रजिस्ट्रेशन रिपोर्ट
कल राहुल और रजनीश तो गए थे एक सेक्शन में, उसमें से 30 में से 23 बचा है।
राहुल बैठो यहाँ पर, क्या कर रहे हो?
30 में से 23।
यस, आउट ऑफ 30 23 रजिस्टर्ड।
आपने बोला कब ये दिया जाएगा? पास पास कंपलसरी है बोला, कब पास दिया जाएगा बोला, कब बोला? हाँ, थर्सडे। और कौन गया था?
I went but they already went because their class over before only. Teacher didn't come. They went. I asked them.
उसके बाद क्लास नहीं था?
No.
लास्ट क्लास।
Yes, ma'am. 4:30 was the last class, but they went 3:30 only.
टिफिन के बाद वाला क्लास जाना चाहिए।
Okay. Today is my
क्योंकि
college.
आप लास्ट में जाएंगे तो माया का भी प्लान होता है ना, सबको माया में लेके जाने के लिए। कल ही का प्लान होता है, भक्तों का प्लान क्या होना चाहिए उससे
एक कदम आगे।
जो प्रभुपाद जी बोला, अरे स्वामी जी आप इतना माया को निंदा कर रहे हैं, साइंस टेक्नोलॉजी को निंदा कर रहे हैं, खुद आप देख रहे हैं एयरप्लेन में चल रहे हैं, इतना आपने निंदा किया, इतना उड़ाया आपने सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन को, खुद आप एयरपोर्ट में चल रहे हैं। बोला अच्छा ठीक है, तो आप क्या क्यों कर रहे हैं पता है? आप लोग इतना फास्ट माया में जा रहे हैं, आप लोग को पकड़ने के लिए हमें फास्ट फ्लाइट में जाना चाहिए। समझ रहे? सो दिस इज द पॉइंट ऑफ डेस्परेटनेस। So we have to be so desperate that we'll enthusiastically practice Krishna consciousness and we'll be studying our study hours, huh? And very active. No time for Maya. No dampness. Dampness in our consciousness. हाँ कभी हेल्थ खराब हो गया, देयर ऑलरेडी द केयर इज देयर. हेल्थ खराब है तो आप बोलिए प्रभु जी मेरी तबीयत खराब है, टेक सम रेस्ट. सो वी नो दैट दिस इज माय हेल्थ खराब है तो हमें इसको ठीक करना चाहिए, सो दैट आई कैन प्रैक्टिस कृष्ण कॉन्शियसनेस. हमें स्टडी करना चाहिए. आई शुड बी डेस्परेट टू स्टडी. I should aspire to attend morning prayer, to aspire to serve. Yes, Rahul Prabhu and Rajnish Prabhu, we approve.
वो हम लोग आज जाएंगे. सुबह को बोले थे कि स्पीकर फिक्स कर देंगे.
कल किधर नहीं गए थे?
ये और स्पीकर
कल का फिक्स नहीं हुआ.
We can tell that
You can speak that we are going to invite very special speaker.
we will put the topics. We have
Topic, and you say that we are going to invite very special speaker, successful in